Hi, my name's Andy, and I'm just going to talk about inspiration and how to get it today. There's a saying that says your salary is the average of the 5 best friends you have. Now, unless you're best friends with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, then you're probably in trouble. If you're like me and you come from a working class family but want more, then you're probably a bit behind at the moment, so there's many things you need to do. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of your friends, of course, although it might be a good idea. For most people, the average life is okay, and they're perfectly happy with that. I mean, like getting a 30-year mortgage, going to the pub on weekends with your friends. If that's what you want, then that's fine, that's up to you. But it's certainly not the life for me. And that is why you need some inspiration and motivation in your life. The problem is, if your friends are just average, where are you supposed to get inspiration from? Because they're happy with their job, they're happy with their mortgage, the 2 kids, all that sort of thing. So it's really difficult to meet people and get inspired. But of course you don't have to meet people to be inspired. And I'm going to tell you how. And some of the people, the most influential people you can meet, probably died before you was even born. And before we start installing positives into your life, we need to stop more negatives going into your life. And one of the key things here is stop watching the news, because 90% of it is blood, guts, gore. It's all negativity, and you don't really need it. And to be honest, if there's a news story they really they really need to hear about, you're going to hear it elsewhere through conversations, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. You don't have to watch the news every day. And also, you need to stop listening to people and their opinions. For example, if you wanted to change your career and it was something that other people didn't understand, they'll probably say, oh, that's not for you, you can't do that, all that sort of rubbish. Don't listen to people like that. If they're your friends and family, politely ignore them and just get on with what you want to do. Because people who say you can't do this and you can't do that have never done anything else in their lives, never achieved anything, and if they had, they certainly wouldn't stop you from trying. Okay, so now let's go on to the positive. There are quite a few different ways of getting positive inspiration here, and the first one I would suggest is to read some books. And there are countless books in the bookshops these days, but the majority of them come back to 2 main authors. The majority of books, the authors would have read these authors in the first place. And although these authors writ in the 30s and 40s, they're still really relevant today. The first one is Napoleon Hill, and he wrote a great book called Think and Grow Rich, which most books about money these days are based on the same principles as him. He spent about 30 years of his life interviewing great people like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, William Wrigley, and there's countless others, and he spent 30 years of his life reading about, interviewing these people and seeing what the secret was, and he wrote this in a book called Think and Grow Rich. He also wrote a few other books, and they're fantastic, and even though he's been dead for 45 years, you really need to read these. The second main author is Dale Carnegie, and he wrote a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and this is really so relevant. The former richest man in the world, Warren Buffett, said that he would never have made his billions without reading this book. It gives you so many tips how to deal with people. It really is invaluable. And both of those books you can get for £20 easily, brand new. And there's many other books, and there's many other authors, but they're the 2 main ones I would suggest, and then go from there. And if you don't have time to read books, then what I would suggest is you get an iPod or MP3 player and buy these books as audiobooks, and they can be read to you. And there's no excuse not to read or to listen to audiobooks. You can listen to them while walking the dog, you can listen to them driving to work, jogging, at the gym, working. Even 20 minutes a day can make a difference. You know, over the week, you're 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back to going to work. You know, you've listened to the book already. Also, these books, especially these 2 books, are the sort of books that you need to listen to and read a few times, or actually countless. There's so many tips. Some of them you'll miss the first few reads, and you need to read them and again and again and again. So it is ideal to get a hard copy of these, and then even when you're on the loo, you can just read 10 minutes and get extra tips and inspiration. It really is suggested you do that. Also, another way of getting inspiration is from podcasts. Now these are generally free, and you can download countless of these from iTunes, and there really is loads, and they're all to different people's tastes. But the two that I suggest you start with are called Jeff Thompson Inspired and Stuart Williams Unlimited. Now Jeff Thompson is a self-help writer. He's written over 30 books and he's got lots of tips. He's been doing this for many years. And Stuart Williams, he interviews people who will inspire you. There's normally an hour each show, and various different people who really will be an inspiration to you. And I suggest you listen to those, and they're all free. And both of those guys you can easily Facebook and email and ask them questions, give feedback. And also YouTube is a very good tool to use, and people are making videos like this one here. And from various different subjects you can be inspired. At the moment I'm listening to or watching Anthony Robbins, who's a motivational and NLP expert. And even though he's a professional, there are quite a few free things you can listen to from him. Another one I'm watching at the moment is a guy called Car Sundance, who is he's really into his raw and healthy food, and he's just a guy who makes his own videos, and you can contact him very easily through Facebook if you've got questions. And to be honest, on any subject you're interested in, whether it's martial arts or whether it's studying different things, YouTube is great, and I think all the videos are free on there. So just type in a few keywords and you will get so much inspiration. It's unbelievable. And the last thing really to use to get inspiration when you can't personally meet people is Facebook. Now Facebook to some people is just to tell people they've got a hangover, or say it's snowing outside and all that rubbish, and that's okay. But there is a very good way of meeting new and inspirational people through Facebook. And I've contacted many people and got many tips from Facebook, and I've never met any of them. And you don't have to meet any of them really. You go into different groups and there'll be various people who are after the same thing. There'll be at various different stages of their development, and you can really get some good tips from these. And one of the groups I'm a member of is, if you type in Jeff Thompson on groups, and there's about 2,000 people there, and they're people on various different stages of development. Some of them are making a lot of money, some of them are at the beginning of their development, and you can type in different questions and different things, and you get so many responses, all friendly people, it's all free, and just don't be surprised when you get one or two friend requests either. Okay, that's it for today. Got any feedback or anything else, just let me know. Okay, thanks a lot, bye bye.